MLB player props here on PrizePicks. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks. They will match 100% of your first deposit. There is also a Discord link in the description as well as a Patreon link where you can buy my Patreon plays every single day. Patreon plays for today, September 20th, Tuesday, are already live on Patreon. I think I gave 7 plays today on Patreon. I'm going to give 2 plays today in this YouTube video that I like on the MLB slate. Don't want to waste any time. I'm going to keep this video as concise as possible. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not gambling advice. These are simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. But yeah, go ahead and check the links out in the description. We have a massive slate today on the MLB. Ton of games to choose from, ton of player props to choose from. There's 2 plays that I like here for this YouTube video. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first one's going to be Shane McClanahan over 5 Ks here. Now, before Shane got injured, a line of 5 Ks would have been like absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Earlier on in the season, he was just an absolute menace to hitters. Just dominating. He missed a few games, and actually has like some short starts as well, and is still 10th in baseball at 187 Ks. WHIP is second in baseball at .86. And without the injury, I think he was, had a good chance to win that AL Cy Young, maybe behind Justin Verlander, but for Shane McClanahan at 5, he had 5 strikeouts against Toronto in 5 innings pitched. He only threw 69 pitches. He only gave up 3 hits. So I think he's, healthy. I don't think this shoulder issue is an issue going to be something that's going to affect him in this game or long term. But 5 strikeouts is the line here, which is an interesting line at 5, and I think it's some value for one reason. So Shane McClanahan at 5 is always going to be value, in my opinion, against any team, any matchup. You can see the teams he's gone crazy against already this season, like Cleveland. He had 4 Ks in 7 innings, which was tough after the All-Star break. He had these 2 kind of outings that were a little tough, but he's had 10 Ks against Toronto. He struck out 8 and 7 against the powerful Yankees lineup. St. Louis and Chicago, White Sox as well, 2 teams that don't strike out a ton. He had 9 and 8 against them, 7 here against the Yankees, 11 against the Angels. Here against Minnesota, a team that doesn't strike out a ton, had 11 here. So matchup doesn't really matter too much for Shane McClanahan, but what's interesting here about this matchup against Houston today with the line set at 5 is this here, right? Houston's are going to have a mean hangover tomorrow. This reply here, I predict a triple-A lineup. Houston clinched the AL West yesterday. We saw this happen with the Dodgers last week. Dodgers clinched the NL West the following day, the next game. Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman all did not play in that lineup. You can even type in Astros lineup on Twitter and you'll see a ton of tweets here talking about it. That Astros lineup card going to be crazy today. This tweet here by an Astros fan, we're getting a hangover lineup today. Likely going to see Hensley, Dubon, and Aldemes in the batting order, maybe hopefully Yainer. So, again, we're going to see the interesting lineup today. Obviously, they clinched the AL West yesterday. They clinched the NL West. The best team in the AL right now. I don't see a ton of their big bats play in this game. I could definitely see taking a look at their lineup. Altuve not playing, Jordan, Bregman, Tucker, all probably not playing. Even Mancini probably not playing today, which if Shane McClanahan's facing a lineup without those guys in it, 5Ks seems like some great value. So I'm taking the over on this one, Shane McClanahan over 5. I think it's a good find here. Then the other prop is going to be Austin Riley. And I'm going to take his over 1.5 TB here against Patrick Corbin and the Washington Nationals. Austin Riley here, kind of in a bit of a slump here. I think this is a great get-right game for him. But over his last 7 days, he's hitting 182. In the month of September, he's hitting 200 flat. He had that crazy month of July where he was hitting 423. He did hit a home run yesterday, which again, these types of hitters, you can't really go too much off game log. He does have a hit in his last 4 outings, which is somewhat of a good sign here. But Austin Riley, he's one of those guys that, you can't go wrong adding a 1.5 TB to your line with him in it, in my opinion. But I like this for a few reasons. One, he's facing Patrick Corbin, who just absolutely gets just raked in general. He's 6-18 with a 6.11 ERA. He's just been getting destroyed all year. But he's lefty. And Austin Riley splits against lefties is very, very good. 338 average, 426 OBP, 714 slugging, and a 1.140 OPS. Pretty much all his hitting stats across the board are up against left-handers. And in his career against Patrick Corbin, he has 30 plate appearances, 8 hits, 3 singles, 3 doubles, and 2 home runs, 296 average, and 30 plate appearances. Pretty decent. Decent enough for me to like 1.5 TB for him here against the Nationals. I like it Austin Riley. I think he hits lefties very well, and again, not a very good left-handed pitcher this year. Patrick Corbin. I like the over here. Austin Riley 1.5 TB. So these are the 2 total player props I'm rocking with today. Again, Patreon plays are already live. I gave 7 total plays on Patreon. Check the link out in the description. Hit that subscribe button, you guys. Drop a like on this video, and as always, have a great day.